Welcome to Shabby Shack Studio, friends, and welcome back to May. How can it be May? Oh my goodness, it felt like the year just began. And here we are in May on the cusp of the mid-year. Oh my goodness, don't even want to say it. We won't say it and it won't be true. Okay, so we're going to jump straight in with our May bullet journal this month. I am running late, I do apologize, but I was having such a lovely break from teaching and just Easter break with my family. We were renovating, we were doing all the things. So although I actually started creating these pages early, I got a little bit caught up when it came to taking myself away to do the editing. So hopefully you'll still be with me and you'll enjoy it with me. Anyway, you too may be running late, so there you go, it could be perfect. Either way, you can see me kicking off with my watercolor. I know this, I generally do it this way, so if you are new, you'll see lots of watercolor color pages, and I do come back in and do a full video of this. This is just a very quick abridged version of this watercolor, and this one carries on very much from my watercolor cards, and it will be a standalone card. I've called this one Dreamer, which is pretty much me and me kind of standing there looking into the distance, and this is what comes from my crazy mind. I don't copy from anything else. I just honestly have an idea and put it down on paper. So quite often you don't necessarily see my sketching, but you do see my painting, my editing, my errors and fix-ups, and I don't do, if you are new, I don't do a good copy. I just create it live here with you. So we do this together. So pick up your pens, pick up your pigment liners, pick up all of your favorite tools, and let's get started. Working as always on my favorite Mont watercolor paper, so you can see that the pages are actually perforated at the top, so you can see that they're on a spiral bound style notebook. This one is A5. You get 30 sheets of 190 GSM for like $5. It is the best, really the best value, and I always love working on this paper. This is not super expensive cotton or anything like that, but it is the kind of paper that you can work on and love working with. And if you don't necessarily like what you've created, then it's not expensive and it doesn't dictate what you're going to create or add fear, which is already present. Let's be honest. When we're creatives, we always think our work's not going to be good enough. So we all suffer from that imposter syndrome. So it really does free me up to be as creative as I want to be, and it does let me be a little bit more free in what I create and not overthink. Always a good thing. And here on the channel, we're always about decorating and creating art on a budget. I don't want to price you out of the market so you feel that you can't do whatever it is. I mean, we paint, we do all kinds of stuff on the channel, we create together, we have a wonderful time, and we do it all on a budget. Okay, so once the watercolor is dry, and you can see, as I said, it's an abridged version, but you can see that beautiful metallic gold mixed in with lashings of Payne's grey and heaps of water. And I'm coming back in with my favorite pigment liners, which are a Staedtler brand pigment liner. Very easy to find, and I'll add those links for you below on Amazon, so you can get them anywhere you are in the world. And I'm just adding a little bit of detail to my sweet girl staring off into the distance. For me, this, as I said, is indicative of me, a field of flowers, and the metallic just something I wanted to do for ages, and it hasn't disappointed. So don't worry, I'm going to link that one for you below. It's an Aquarell, and it's just a gold, and it has the most amazing sheen. I've simply named this one Dreamer. I'm not sure how it's going to look when it comes a gift card, but very similar to what I've created. As I said, is going to become part of a series, and this will be something that I'll share with you. As you can see, I'm going to punch this one, and it's going to be added to my bujo, and it's the inspiration for the whole month of May. Okay, simply turning this page over. It is a 190 GSM, as I said. It has got a nice weight to it. Again, it is inexpensive, which I just love. but I'm not going to have any issues with shadowing on this one. I can simply flip it over just like you're seeing and use the other side, and I'm not going to have any issues at all with that. So as always, I have decided to do my color palette on this one. I love that my color palette this month is super simple. I've never done such a simple color palette, and yet it turns out it's one of my favorites. So I decided to simply just do a mix of this beautiful gold metallic and the Payne's grey, and just with, you know, various shades together with just 3 splashes of color, and the words color palette and the butterflies for me, which is kind of part of this idea in my mind of me walking through a field and looking into the distance and being surrounded by nature and just the beauty that inspires me with everything I create. So the butterflies have actually continued throughout. You can see me go over them with pigment liner. They are not complicated. They're not hard to sketch. They really are just kind of a fancy heart, which was really the leaves or the wings, with a little bit of a body. So easy to draw. You could do this. I mean, so easy. And I do a mood tracker and other ones as well to come, and you'll see me do lots and lots of butterflies there. So if this is something that you would like to practice sketching, stay with me. We're getting to that. Okay, after the first wash of colour, I've just decided to move on to my freehand font, being the words colour palette. Again, this is just something that I do, and I do show you in real time, so if you want to follow along and do something similar, then by all means. And I am going to come back in and I'm going to add to those washes of colour. So stay with me if you're thinking they're looking a little bit flat. They just need a little bit of wet on dry, and you're going to see they're going to get a whole lot punchier and just some lovely depth with the greys and the golds mixed together. It's coming. Just be patient. I introduced this sweet shading a few months ago and it's really become one of my favorites. It's so simple to do. So instead of having to color in the entire font and typography in your ink, which can be quite heavy, it adds a really interesting balance and shading. You can see there I've come back in and I'm just going to add a little bit more, a little bit, another detail here, another detail there. I really do create this live with you guys. This is not something that I have created previously. I'll quite often do a very simple pencil sketch, but you'll see quite often I'll change that up as we go. And then here you can see just come back in with some wet on dry, and I'm just adding a little bit more punch, a little bit more oomph to my three little splashes of colour. And here you can see now just coming to an end, and how amazing is that beautiful metallic gold. And that is the Horadam's Aquarell. So just in case you're wondering, I hope I pronounced that correctly before I've then moved on to my next page. And this is the quote page that kind of inspired it all. I have actually had this quote up on a memory board, on a notice board in my office or in my studio for the longest time, and for some reason it caught my eye this month, and I just thought, you know what, I need to add this to my journal. And the words are simply, believe in the girl staring back at you, she's making things happen. So how sweet is that? And that's really how I felt, because we you know, be honest, we all go through a stage where we're feeling a little bit flat, or that maybe we're not kicking goals the way we wanted to, or something doesn't appear to be balancing, or we're feeling overwhelmed or just exhausted, whatever it is. I haven't been more than ever feeling that this month or anything, but it just, to me, it just spoke to me, it resonated. So I decided to add it this month, and I found these amazing little corners at Kikki. So I'll link them for you below. I'll see if I can find something on Amazon, because I'm not sure if Kikki sends international, and I know a lot of you guys are across the other side of the world from me here in Oz. So I created this page on one of my favorite cardstock. You see this one featured a lot with my Bujoes, my Bujo setups. So this is an Art Spectrum toned notebook, and it actually comes with this gorgeous crisp black, a really lovely clean white, a grey, which is, again, it's just the perfect kind of mid-grey, which goes with everything. And then this gorgeous kind of sand, which looks like a brown paper or a craft paper. So you'll see me use those and mix and match them a lot. And then I just decided I wanted to carry on the theme. So again, you've got kind of the back of a lady sitting down, reading a book in this case. Again, it's kind of indicative of how I'm feeling, my love of reading. Again, this is very much a style that I've been working on that is going to be a part of a gift card series that I'm going to be working on soon. So stay tuned. If it's something you're interested in, you'll be able to purchase them live from my website, or you can create your own. Love to see you do that. And again, don't forget to share that with me on socials. Okay, again, sitting down with the books, dreaming away there, which is my theme this month. Some little blooms and flowers floating around her like she's in a field or off in her imagination, which is exactly where I am when I'm creating these pages. So how wonderful and easy do these little photo corners make this, adding this quote in? It's really as simple as I had left a little mark when I did the sketch, and you can see the little corners already marked in pencil. I did that first before I created the sketch and kind of thought where I was going to put things. And then I just literally just put those little corners in, and they're adhesive, stuck it in place. So simple, grabbed my pencil and my eraser and erased any lines. And then I've left this in on purpose. One of the most favorite things when you're using these black cardstock is if you decide there's a line that you didn't like, you can just go back in with one of your pigment liners and you can erase it out. And all I did was just add a little bit more detail to the body of this little butterfly. So something that's so easy, again, it gives you a little bit of license. If you decide that you're not happy with something, you can go in and add a little touch up with your pigment liner and no one's the wiser. It comes out perfect. So there you go. That's the final quote page. And then again, I'm turning this one over. Again, this cardstock is so lovely and thick. It's 250 GSM, so it's fabulous. It's acid-free, carbon neutral, recyclable, FSC. It's got all the fantastic labels you want it to have. Kind to the environment and kind to our hip pocket when we're being creative, and which we love. We definitely love that on this channel. We're all about the budget. And again, I've just flipped that over and decided to do my month at a glance for May, keeping with my same theme with our little butterflies, so you can see exactly how I create them. So simple, like I said, it's just a misshapen heart, more or less, with a little petal, a little circle, a little oval at the bottom, and then they're leaning in different directions. So again, it's how big you make that wing. If you want it to be on its side, it just needs to have one big wing and one little portion at the bottom, and then the body. If you want it in the center, you could make your butterfly one big fat bloom, big fat butterfly in the center, and make their wings to be even, or you can offset one to be quite larger than the other, and it looks like the butterfly is flying one way or another. Another question I get asked often is, what white gel pen do you use on this cardstock that looks so fantastic? This is my Pilot Poplar. I will link that for you below. And again, I left this in on purpose on the video and showed you that if you make a mistake, look how easy that is to come back in with your pigment liner and add a little bit of extra, because when we're working with our markers, sometimes, you know, something doesn't come out exactly as you planned, but you can even like that, like I made one of the legs a bit skinny for me, I just went back in and gave it a little adjustment. No one will know. And then I'm using the same shading in the center of the letters for May to just add a little bit of oomph, but I don't want to color the entire thing in white. Moving on to the actual squares and the spacing for my month. These are 3 centimeters by 1 centimeter, where I put in the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. This is a 2-page spread, and these little boxes are 3 centimeters square. Simple. And I put half a centimeter between the little boxes. Very easy to do. I just space it out with pencil first to make sure that I'm happy with how things are sitting. My Saturday and Sunday are a shared day, and I put a division on the angle in one of those boxes because I don't tend to plan a lot of work things on. And this is my month at a glance. I look at it when I'm trying to think whether I'm going to be free, when I need to start something. I don't put all the details obviously in here. Have some big wall planners and things in my studio, and then obviously have my weekly spread as well. The absolute beauty of a handmade journal is that I can add whatever pages I want that suit me. I can make my journal at a size that suits me. So this one's an A5 size, my journal at the moment. And it's made from a vintage book. I will link that for you below in case that's something that you're interested in doing. But it gives me so much freedom and artistic license to create my pages however it suits me. It allows me to add in my watercolor and pigment liners and Copic markers, and it allows me to add in lovely quotes like that in familiar. It allows me to add images or recipes or lyrics to songs or anything at all that I want to add. I just add a simple hole punch. It's just a simple 2-hole punch. It is the basic standard spacing between those punches. It really is so simple. I don't have to go and get something else that's going to overcomplicate my life, but it's so much, it allows me to have so much creative license and really enjoy creating something that's different. If you wanted to, you could add the grid your grid lines, or pages that already have that, you can buy that. It's something that's completely free to you. But if you do like to paint and you're thinking you might want to scan that in and turn that into a textile or a graphic or something like that as well, it means that you don't have your grid lines in the background. It just gives you more creative freedom. And turning over that second page of my month at a glance, again, it's this beautiful cardstock. It's lovely and thick. You can see there's no ghosting from what's on the other side, and I can turn that page over and I can make the best use of my budget and my cardstock, and turn this one into a really sweet mood tracker. It helps me just kind of keep track of how I'm feeling and remind me that sometimes I'm pushing too hard and I need to take some time off. So you may find that works for you if you're a little bit like me and you get a little bit, you overburden yourself. It's also fantastic if you're a procrastinator, because it reminds you you've got lots of things that need to be done. I just have a bloom and blah little notation for myself, and then I will actually color these butterflies. I'll either leave them blank if I'm feeling a bit blah, or I might paint them grey or colour them in grey with pencil or marker. And when I'm feeling like I'm blooming and feeling, that I'm, kicking those goals, I will paint them gold. So it's as simple as that. And of course, I've got a little butterfly sitting on my head here. Of course, this is me coming from my imagination. Me with my messy bun, getting all my work done, getting the stuff done. That's what we do. And just a little summer dress, because it's always darn hot up here in Queensland, Australia. And then I'm just surrounded by, again, that imagination of mine. The flowers and the butterflies are all, because I've always got all the balls in the air. That's what happens when you're an artist and a mum and a wife, and you work and you teach and you do all these things. Yeah, I have a crazy schedule. So you can see the only thing you really need to worry about doing is making sure that there are enough blooms and enough butterflies to be indicative of all the days of the month. You can also number them. I decided not to do it this month because it doesn't really make any difference what day I'm feeling like I'm kicking those goals, or that I'm feeling a bit blah and flat. It's just a matter of keeping track of them as a whole. just a little reminder that if you do like what you see here on the channel, to maybe throw me a like. I would love that. A follow here, of course, on YouTube, but also on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, wherever it is that you follow along, and the socials that work for you. Here you can see me adding that bloom and blah in. Just backtracking for a second. And then, of course, if this is something that you like to do and you are a journalist or somebody who is really interested in starting one of your own, I actually have a couple of videos of me creating my own journals, and then obviously there's so many with the mood trackers and stuff like that. Now, I will stop talking about that and move on, because you're probably thinking, what is with the vintage typewriter? Well, this is the newest addition to the studio. Okay. I found this amazing vintage typewriter that I've been wanting for ages, and my husband, clever man that he is, and ever so patient with his crazy wife and her ideas, fixed it for me. So it needed a fair bit of prettying up, fixing up. It was just beautiful on its own, a little bit dirty but beautiful. But he actually fixed a whole lot of things for me on it, so now it's working beautiful, and you're going to see so much more of this. And of course, to celebrate, first thing I did was type up my weekly spread. So there you go, week 1. I've got the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, etc. in there. I will be using this so much more in future. I do need to look at probably replacing the ribbon, because it's as old as the hills. Because this machine, I'll put all the details for you below, but oh my goodness, this machine is a lovely old vintage one, and it's been obviously much loved and then much neglected throughout its life, but it has found a very happy home here in our studio, and will be absolutely spoiled rotten. It has its own pride of place, which was that sweet little chest of drawers you saw it on. It's now been painted, and there's so many things have been added to that, so it's going to be featuring in my socials and in here on my YouTube and all over the place. So if it's something that interests you, or even if you are restoring one and you have some questions, I will kick them across to the main man and find out the answers, if at all I can, for you. But yeah, he's a very handy one, so I had no doubt that he would manage to fix this up for me, and find out how to get it working and gorgeous again. As we come to the end of another Bujo setup and some more creativity that we've shared together, I did just want to say I hope that your May is super kind to you, and thank you once again for all your support and love. Don't forget to say hello in the comments below. If there's anything you need, or even if you have anything to say or share, love to hear from you guys, and I respond to everything as soon as I possibly can. Thanks for being here. Have a fantastic May. Make sure it's kind to you.